because I've been trained in IT. I've had different portfolio in terms of career. Average salary of, that is the list, like I'm saying, they're an analyst, not scientist, is 82,000 per year, over to 80,000 per year, right?
Brother.
Yeah.
Umesikia hiyo maneno?
Yeah, so it's
that's where the key is.
So that our training takes 4 months, and then the last month, we're looking at what we call career service, the most in-demand skill to learn in this year or 2023. And if you check the LinkedIn report, it's clearly that this is the way to go. I want to explain to people how this data analytics is important in your life. Our next intake will be on 1st August 2023.
Yes, mambo vipi ladies and gentlemen, karibuni ndani ya Mkenya Marekani. Kama this is a platform where we educate you, we highlight different Kenyans doing extraordinary things here in America. And today we have a very very inspiring story. Kama wewe ni msee wa mambo na makompyuta, mambo na nini, this is the right place for you to be. Tutakuwa tunaongelesha mtu fulani hapa Mkenya mwenye anafanyanga data analysis na he does training for all Kenyans. So, kama uko hapa hivi my friend, this is the right place. If you really, healthcare is not your thing, we provide other options out here. So, keep it here ndani ya Mkenya Marekani, and without any further ado, let's go and talk to our guest today. Karibuni sana. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we have the guest of the day here today. And yeah, welcome. If you're new here, consider subscribing. And let's go direct to the point. Bwana, karibu sana.
Asante sana.
Hali vipi?
Safi nashukuru. Niko salama. I'm happy to be here today.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Habari huku America inakupeleka namna gani? How is the going?
So far so good. I can't complain. It has some challenges. You know, they say home is always best.
Yeah.
But I think for the period I've been here, I would say if I have to choose second home, then I would still want to choose this place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's start with first things first. Introduce yourself, and then we can move from there.
Thank you so much, Gary. My name is Geoffrey Ouma, Mark Ouma.
Mark Ouma.
Mark Ouma. Jina kubwa sana. Born raised in Kenya.
Yeah.
And then moved here. I'm here with my family.
Okay.
And so back in Kenya, this idea that I have today, Satya, is an idea that has always been with me for a very long time.
Yeah.
Since 2014, when I started thinking of starting my own, consultancy firm. So back in Kenya, I ran a consultancy firm under the same name. And then when I moved here, I look at the opportunities.
Yeah.
Because I've been trained in IT. I've had different portfolio in terms of career and employment. And so I thought of coming up with something that will impact in our lives.
Yeah.
And so 2021, this idea came to me, and I registered a company. And then it took us a little more time because, putting things in order, I look at what is that gap that existing, especially among African American immigrants who moved here.
Yeah.
And so I know in America here, or in Washington State where I live, healthcare is a big thing.
Yeah.
So most of us are in healthcare. And then what is that, the gap that existed between the current, skills that people have and the demand in the next future, especially talk about technology. And so the idea of data analytics came at that time. Because, I need to mention this, that, data analysis has been voted the most in-demand skill to learn in this year or 2023. And if you check the LinkedIn report, it's clearly that this is the way to go.
Yeah.
Data analytics is attached to technology and attached to AI. Everyone talks about AI today. In our training, we mention AI on a serious note. Because right now, things are going to change. We'll be talking about free webinars every Sunday. We do free webinars where we talk about the impact of AI. Like, what is AI coming to do in your life, in your social life, in your workplace, or in your general, way of living.
Yeah.
And so all the AI are data-driven, mechanisms. And so it's at a point of getting to learn this skill, knowing how to learn this skill, empowering yourself. So I would really want to state, let's say, what's data analytics?
Yes.
Data analytics is a way of looking at data, extracting it, analyzing it, getting an insight or the meaning, and most importantly, using that insight that you get to make a decision. So we are empowering people to make data-driven decision. Every time you wake up in the morning, people don't know that, you know, it's not just a new thing, it's a new concept. It's that it has never been embraced as it is now in the past years. When you make a decision on whether to wear a coat or just a shirt or a vest, whatever it is, that is based on statistics. It's based on data that has been analyzed.
Yeah.
So when you look at, I want to explain to people how this data analytics is important in your life. So you look at the weather today, you realize it's going to be hot. How do they know that it's going to be hot? So this is based on historical data. So all these things put together, you can be able to predict that today is going to rain. So that means you look at your Google map, and then weather forecast, and then able to tell today is going to rain. So I need to wear my raincoat. So whatever you do, it's always been based on data, but it's never been as important as it is today. So I want to introduce ourselves as SEVENETT consultancy or research firm, or just a firm. So we go by the name SEVENETT LLC, Data Analytics Firm. So our main thing that we do as a firm is to ensure that organizations, businesses, individuals are empowered to make decisions based on data or facts. So at personal level, we train people. We train them in our training, which we call bootcamp training. And our training are divided into two. There's data analysis training and there's advanced training. Now, when you do first training, we call it, the profession that you're likely to become after the training is called data analytics. Now, when you proceed to the advanced, you become data scientist. Now, the difference is when you move from the first to the last level, then it means you encompasses these skills, including big data analytics, machine learning, AI, R as a language, which is the platform we use for our training, and of course Python. So you combine all that, then you become more of a data scientist than data analyst. Now, in our training, the first one that I just mentioned, becoming a data analyst, you need to do training for 5 months. So 4 months class work, you're doing modules that include introduction to data analysis, statistical analysis. We look at data analysis using Excel, Tableau, Power BI. We also look at Excel, okay? So we also look at SQL, we normally call it SQL.
Yeah.
So in our training, we ensure that you can be able to use these skills based on these tools to be able to look at the data, analyze, and give insight, and possibly help in making a decision. So our training basically is skill-based, hands-on. It's not just any other classroom where you will sit for exam. I mean, you revise for exam today, tomorrow you pass an exam, you're good to go, move to the next class. It's a skill that you get it today, you're using it tonight, tomorrow, every day. Like, wake up in the morning, you're given a case study, you're given a real life scenario, you're told, okay, please, can you just look at that and give us, we are trying to look at women. Let's say you're given a data set, right? And then you're told, we don't look at the women who got A+ on this day. That's, talk about blood transfusion, right? Who got blood type A on this day at this time. Large set of data. Then you either use all these tools, SQL, Power BI, Tableau, to be able to get this data. Our main focus, again, is this time, we look at data visualization and intelligence that helps in decision making. Now, every business has to have that intelligence part of it, to be able to look at the number of, let's say, customer visiting, what are the leads, how best can they look at what the characteristics of all those guys are visiting your website, for example. So that our training takes 4 months, and then the last month, we're looking at what we call career service and mentorship. You are assigned a mentor. You are assigned somebody who is going to connect you with the masters or experts in the industry. You are connected with the recruiters. And we also help you in, looking at job search in terms of CV or resume development, looking at, preparing yourself, preparing you well in terms of how you're going to conduct the interview, how you're going to, the best question possible out of that. And then we connect with the recruiters. We're able to, we believe that once you have the skills, you have the resume well put together, you have the confidence, you will train you on how to carry yourself during interview, we believe that, you are almost like 80% there. So you face an interview, you'll be able to get the job.
Wow.
So we are focused on that in the first 5 months. And then we allow people, we ask them, recommend that, go out to work for at least 2 months, then come back for the advance. Okay?
Wow.
And again, just to mention, this is a skill. So we're not just saying that you need to get certificate or certification for that matter. We are looking at 10 certifications that we recommend as one. The first one being certificate of completion that we offer you as SEVENETT. And then we have like about other 8, 9 certifications that we recommend.
Do you have like state exams here or no?
No. So because this is a hands-on, this is a skill.
Okay.
So for example, Excel and Tableau, those are tools that are developed by Microsoft. So the only people who can give certification are Microsoft. So there's no any institution that can give a more recognized certification in Tableau, in Power BI or Excel other than Microsoft. So we give them. If you want to go that way, you can do that. You have Tableau, they have their own. R, they have their own. So there are quite a number of them. So I've just mentioned about 9 that we recommend, but we don't ask anyone to do them. We just recommend. So it's you to choose what you want to do, right? And so there's also certification of professional bodies, like for example, data analyst certified professional. So those are also we recommend. If you want to be part of that, then you can always sit for the exam. So is that more of like sitting for the exam? We guide you through the process. You have the skill, you have the knowledge. So what happens? We just guide you through the sitting exam. You book for the exam, you sit for the exam, and they get your certification. So that's part of what we do as SEVENETT. And maybe you want me to proceed?
No, I want to ask some questions.
Yeah, please do.
Najua wengine wenyu wanasikia kizungu mkuti. Tabloid, blah, 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 everybody. But it's a good thing to understand. But I'm going to ask questions that you think I should ask. Like, for example, what are the requirements to join these courses?
Yeah. Thank you very much. So for me, this is a skill. You don't have to be as qualified as somebody would want to imagine. So as long as you have a basic knowledge in terms of basic math, so basically I would say high school will be good enough. As long as you got the certificate, you went through the high school, training, that should be good enough.
So somebody who is not knowledgeable with computer,
good.
Kama wamama, wababa, wanataka kujoin hii course, healthcare imewachosha.
Yeah, by the way, I don't want to be here to say that healthcare is bad.
No, right, it's not.
I appreciate, so many Kenyans are doing this passionately, and there are people who want to do it. And it's a great job, right?
We are just talking about another opportunity.
Yes,
so that exactly we eye differently.
Good. Yeah. So what I'm just saying is that I also joke about this. We don't need to put our eggs in the same basket. Sometimes you need to So it's an open opportunity for people who want to think outside health, if that is what you want to do, right? And you had asked me a question.
The qualifications.
The qualification which I had mentioned.
Yeah.
There's something you mentioned. Oh, yeah. If you don't have knowledge. So, like I said, we have the oldest one is a PhD holder, by the way, in our class. He is an engineer, Dr. Engineer Alex. Is 65 years old.
But you see, he's learned.
I'm coming back to that. Yeah. So he has a PhD already.
Yeah.
He's 65. The youngest one is 18 years. So we have 18 years. We just finish high school, right? In between here, we have people 50, 60, not 60, 50, 40, and 30 years. So in between there are people who just have certificate, and the last time they were in a class like about 10 years, 20 years ago, so they have never, you can imagine if you did your high school in last 20 years, last 20 years ago, that means that, there are much of this IT thing that
you need to catch up.
But we take you through this. I tell people we walk with you. Swahili tunasema bega kwa bega. We walk with you. We train you first. If you feel that you cannot get directly into data analysis class or whatever we do, we train you, pre-train you in terms of how using a keyboard, using mouse, right click, all that. So we make sure. So at the point we feel that now you're good enough to get to the class, we put you in the class.
So this brings me to another question. Yep. What is the market? Like if I do this course for 5 months, where is the placement? Where is the placement?
That's a good question. So I've just mentioned here that, data analysis, if you just take your phone, Google it, has been voted the most in-demand skill in this year. How do you become most in-demand skill? It means that there's so many companies looking for such people with a skill. That's what makes it. So it means that right now, if you check, it has more job opportunities than any other job. So it means that there's a demand for it. That's why people are looking for people like that. So the job market is already there. What makes the difference is the gap between the skill and you getting the job. So you bridge the gap. Be perfect. I tell my student, I will not want you to go out there and look for a job if you're not prepared. This is a skill. I mean, in a real interview scenario, you are going to be asked, this error set. We want you to tell me, extract using SQL or SQL for that case, is that get me, if you are to select everyone with the name F from a given data set, are you able to query that? That's going to be the real, case scenario in an interview.
Yeah.
So you have to get the skill. Getting a skill is the first thing. Prepare yourself well, and then you go for the job.
Yeah.
The jobs are there. Check everywhere. You'll find them.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So in connection to that, maybe people will want, a lot of people want to hear money matters. Iko na do. Nikiingia, if I train the first 5 months, like, what are the rates competitive, like, for the pay and all that? Because everybody is looking for a living.
Yeah.
And there's nobody who wants to waste their money.
Yeah. Yeah. So let me tell you a composition of our class. We have students from here, mostly from Washington, but we also have students from other places, Canada and Qatar
and it's all virtual.
Yes. Yes. Because of that, we cannot be able to have, but sometimes if we're here and we want to meet, we meet students, we always have a meeting one-on-one with them if there's need. The challenge comes in, but we also have our representatives from other places. Like Kenya, we have, quite a number of our trainers in Kenya. So sometimes, we ask them, can you meet those students and have one-on-one support with them, right? So we have students from all over the place. So the market, I will talk about the market in US, because that's what we base our projection on.
Yeah.
So if you talk about average, even in our website, you can check, it's SEVENETT, SEVENETT.net.
Yeah, I'll put it here.
Yes, you can always find there as there. We put in the average salary of, that is the list, like I'm saying, they're analyst, not scientist, is 82,000 per year, over to 82,000 per year, right?
Brother.
Yeah.
Umesikia hiyo maneno?
Yeah, so it's
that's where the key is. That's where I wanted to get the numbers so that people understand what is the goal.
And again, look, if it's #1 career in demand today, or training today, it means for me, for you, for anyone, we're all fighting for this number of people who have this skill. The only option is I would give a better package if I was to get the best. So that means that there's a demand. When there's demand and supply would be a bit limited, then you expect that to go, high. And I also have to mention this, we already have partners with, they're called Meritize financing. So there's also financing options. So you don't have to have money to get into this class. If you're based here, what you just need, if you have like a social security number, prove that you can be able to work, right? You are either green card or citizen. And then we partner with them. You apply for this financing. They give you financing. Now, you don't have to pay this financing anytime until after 8 months, if you choose to. So there are options. Payment option, you can finish your training, work through that to get a job. Once you have a job, you can get your first salary, you pay this off, and then that is it. Or you may want to pay different option. I just want to pay the interest rates, then I'll pay the rest within a period of 36 months. That's, I would say, 3 years. You're given 3 years to pay them this money, and so this gives people opportunity to focus on training and other things that they are working on now. And then they get a job, change career, and then it can be able to focus on repaying back the loan, the financing they took.
Wow. Yeah. And for the people who are paying students, how much are the fees?
Yeah. So our training, like I said, that they divide into two. So to become data analyst, you pay 5,000 USD, okay, and for the advanced one you pay 3,000. All the information always we put them on our website. You check there, you'll find us. Yeah.
Wow. So if you're looking for other options, and I think one of the best things with this course is you're able to do stuff online, to work virtually.
And that's exactly, so like I would say, why would you learn this course? That's a big question. One, the flexibility in working. You can work from home. And then there's work-life balance. Sometimes our people have to work day and night to be able to meet some of the basic,
the basic needs.
Yeah, but this is where you can work from home. You can work when you're traveling. You can have a balance. You work 8 hours. The rest of the time you can do your own stuff, right? So there's work-life balance. Yeah, it gives you an easy way of working from home, and the growth. It means that you keep on growing. You can grow today. You are here tomorrow. Sometimes if you are in healthcare, and I'm not saying that I'm doing comparison, but I'm just giving it because that's the most common. That's the most common.
The most common.
Yes, yeah. Sometimes it's very difficult for someone to grow. I know it's a process. You go from one end to another, which take time. But this one, you do our training, you are good. The most important thing is that you have to be very perfect. I can't promise that in 4 months you'll be good. enough, right? You keep on learning. You know, the things you do, like all these tools, the more you do them, the more they become easy for you. And you know, you can come up to be a very valuable and marketable person in this field if you choose to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are some of the companies that are highly ranking when it comes to employment for data analysts?
Yeah, so yeah, I would say any tech company. Here, like, you know, we are in Washington
Microsoft,
State.
Amazon.
Yeah, you are in Washington State where the big tech companies are here. So if you are here and you are training, you are here, and you know your training is done here, you're likely to get to this big tech, from Amazon to Microsoft to Google to all this, Apple, all those. They are all here. But again, this course is not only needed in tech companies, it is needed everywhere. I tell you, you become a data analyst, you can be a marketing data analyst, you can be operation data analyst, okay? You can be anything, all the profession. I was looking, somebody just asked me sometimes, do we need this in tracking? And I just pulled up something, some article written by someone. It is possible everywhere. So whether it is in tracking, whether it is in marketing, whether it is in finance, whether it is whatever career you are, you need to have this skill. So you can work everywhere, anywhere, any company.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How competitive is your school comparing to the ones that are already set up here?
Yeah. This is, I would say this is very clear, this is very important.
Yeah.
Like I said, you know, when I first thought of this, I did my research. You know, I'm being this guy who likes doing research. I spend much time, that's why you see, I can't have a problem with my eye now. I spend my, like, almost every 3 hours of my 3 hours of my day I spend on behind the laptop. So I do my research. So I've never seen any Kenyan or African based, you know, for that, you know, that is tailored. Our training is tailored to help our people. I mean the migrants, you and I and anyone who came here, to help them get a skill. This is a lot of opportunity, and I believe so. But if you get the right skill, right? So I know there could be other big ones which are in the market. People have known them, but do they tailor them? Because sometimes you go to these trainings or companies, but what they do is that they give you a video, recorded video, and then you have to follow that.
You go learn.
Here comes a case that you have to interact with the person. Our training are instructor-led, so there must be an instructor helping you there, telling you do this and do this. So that's what makes, we were tailoring it to meet our people, because like I say, we came from a place that some people are using laptops and computers for the first time they are here. They have never used it. So we are trying to understand them.
You can't put them in the same
speed.
So
they are many, they are big. Of course, I would want to mention that Coursera is big enough, right?
Yeah.
Udemy is also there. Of course, there's many others. And the problem is that they may not be able to understand you as much as we would. Okay. Sometimes we have to, sometimes speak in local language to be able to make it, understandable to you. So we're trying to make it tailored in a way that can help our people. So yes, there could be, there are big ones which are already established, but that doesn't stop us from, looking at a way that we can also grow. I believe in us. I believe in that when we put our hands together and our head together, we are going to grow.
Yeah. I want to ask this because for the people who also think you can't do anything else in America.
Yeah.
How did you, first of all, did you start with healthcare? First?
Go ahead, I ask you. So it's very funny. I will answer you. Do you want me to answer this, or do you want me, because I want to answer the two questions?
Answer both.
Yeah, so yes, it's funny. It's funny. I found myself somewhere, but it wasn't the mainstream. But yes, I found myself in healthcare at one point.
Yeah.
Yes.
So basically, it's a starting point for everybody, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't dictate where you'll be in the future.
Yeah. So first, when I came here, I will tell you this. I grew up in Kenya, and I didn't know much about, what people do in America, or, in America. So I overheard people take care of old people. So for me, my mind was, I'm in a hostel, somebody a bit older wants to go to the sun. So maybe because they feel cold, you just want to get warm, right?
Yeah.
So I push him to the sun, okay, make stories with him,
and then you take him back.
That
was your picture.
Now, I tell you, I almost shed tears when I first saw what the reality is. It's not bad. It's a good thing. It helps people, and I appreciate people who are doing that. And I'd say this. Pesa ni pesa.
Yeah.
Haijalishi mali imetoka, right? Pesa ni pesa.
Yeah.
And I appreciate, I want to appreciate especially Kenyans who really, you come here, you had your own life back in Kenya, and then you come here, you look at what people do, you put everything aside and say, let me look for this money. And it's a great thing. I appreciate them so much, especially those who are working hard despite the challenge that come with the kind of job they are doing to ensure that, you know, people back home are living well, you know, helping some family, try to grow. I believe that everyone who came here at one point found themselves there. And it's not a problem, but if you want to think outside the box, that's what you ask me. How did I, you know? Yeah. It's a big dream. I believe, you know, if you Google myself, I also have done some things. In Kenya, I ran as a member of parliament sometimes back. So I've always been trying to dream big. And I'm telling you that we are going to dream big. And this time I'm going to dream big about this thing alone. I want, you know, everyone who wants to join us, let's dream big about this. We are going to launch this. And I also want to mention, so training is just one part of what we're doing. We have an app coming up. Very soon we're going to launch it in the next 2 months that helps immigrants to navigate within this area. When I first came here, I remember I had to use Google. It's so common to use Google Map to get to somewhere in Kenya. So when I first came here, I was asked to take a bus, and I was using my Google Map to take me. I took the whole day. My phone went off, and I was in this foreign country, and I said, you don't know where to go. My English is different. I don't even know how to ask direction. I froze. But, you know, so we are coming up with this app that will help people navigate in terms of, like, where do you want to go to? You connect with the people. What are the services around you? What are the legal? For example, looking for a lawyer. Which lawyer do I go to? I've seen people asking, who is the best lawyer? Yeah. You can easily look at that in our platform. So they are launching that platform that will be data-driven platform. It's an app coming up soon. Look out for it. It's going to help us navigate in terms of, you know, immigration services. People struggle a lot, especially with immigration services, in terms of insurance, type of trade, in terms of, you know, healthcare, emergency, all those things. We are going to put them together. If you're in Kenya and you are in Africa, for example, you want to look for college, you don't have to visit every school. We have an app that you only need to type what you want, you get information. So that's one of the things. We also, you know, other app will come that's coming up is also helping the business, already established business, to be able to help them get data, put them together, analyze, and give out insights. That's fantastic. I believe you've learned. We are not saying one profession is better than the other, but we are just providing platforms so that you can see what is good for you. If it's good, go with it. Yeah, we bring a lot of different professionals here to talk about what they do. And so thank you so much. Thank you so much, Gary, coming here and highlighting what you do is very unique. I'm really excited about what you guys are doing. And what is your contact or information? You can always, so we have our contacts. So our phone number is +1 425 766 4431. Our website is SEVENETT, SEVENETT.net, SEVENETT.net. We have Facebook. You can always reach us on info@sevenett.net. Those are our contacts. We are available anytime. You can always send us a message if you don't find someone online to pick your call. Wow. Yeah. Thank you so much. I believe you guys are informed. Information, as we always say, is power. So keep it here ndani ya Mkenya, where we highlight, we inform, we talk about Africans doing amazing things. So sidhania tu Afrika walikuja kulalia masikio. Huu ni mmoja wao. Kidogo kidogo ena Bill Gates hapa na hapa. Cheers, bro. It's a dream. Thank you so much. Yeah, I hope to see. Our next intake will be on 1st August 2023. Please join us. Where? You get information online. Check our website, just sevenett.net, or you're going to get our information there.